Yo, what's up, everyone? I was just talking muted. We are trying out a new system here because Norb and I are on here together, and we decided we would do something fun. So we are streaming to multiple places, but we're actually using this in-house streaming studio, I guess. So we are. You got a little countdown there. That's us going crazy because we literally this is the first time using this. So. Welcome, guys. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to come on here. This is the MLSP Friday happy hour. This is where we basically take questions from you guys on anything marketing, anything MLSP, anything that you have questions on in the back office. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I think I can do that with this system. I'm pretty sure. So give me 1 second here. Share MLSP here. All right. So this is MLSP, guys. For all you members, we are a a marketing training company with tools, training, and software to help home business owners get results. And every single day, we go live training on something. Monday, this is your schedule when you log in, members. So Monday is our new member orientation. If you guys are brand new, we got a lot of new people coming in right now. You want to make sure you get on one of those Monday new member orientations. They are fantastic. They walk you through the system. They point you in the right direction. It's a great webinar to get started with. And then Tuesday, we have the marketing mastery and funnel demo that my brother and I typically do, where we talk. That's mostly just on funnels and marketing in general. We go a little bit advanced, but we go wherever you guys take us. And then Wednesday is our Wednesday webinar that we have been doing for, is it 13 years? Is it? It's 2008. So I'm terrible.
September 2008. Yeah.
September of 2008. And then yesterday, we did the social media networking and prospecting, which is a fantastic webinar. And today is the happy hour live interactive Q&A session. And in this one, you guys have Norbert and I. Let me tell our resident Zoom guy that we are not using Zoom today. He's having a little mini meltdown. Where is everyone? It's all right. We are in here. All right, let me turn off the screen share. This is kind of cool. I'm getting used to the back and forth and using all these things. Let me open up the chat. Awesome. So we're seeing the chat come in. Guys, all right. So Norbert is here. He is driving, but he wanted to come join and check out this new software. Norb, that is a good question. Alice asks, why are you always driving?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure that answer too. It seems that I've taken up this chauffeur position with my kids. I don't get paid for it, so I don't know.
You get paid for it in other ways, Norb. The love of the family.
Right. That's right.
All right. Well, it's good to have you on either way, guys. So we are looking at the chat. We're pulling all the chat into this little software that we got going on. So if you guys have questions on anything, for the last couple of days, we have had our basically one of our top affiliates, Diane Hockman, training on some of the new software that we have available inside of MLSP, which helps our members get a personally branded either lead generation page or just a website that's personally branded to you up in seconds, which is one of the things that we always saw our users and our niche kind of struggle with, is the tech side of getting your presence up online. And it is such a massive, massive deal in your business because, as most of you guys know, if you're members here, we harp on building your list constantly and how important it is. And all we're doing here with our software is we're trying to make it easier and easier and easier for our users, for our members, and for our niche, for our industry, for our audience to be able to do all of that, to start building your list, to start building sales pages, to start using pages that can point them in the right direction without all the tech. All right, without all the tech. Yes. What's up, Scotty? Welcome back. We just, for those of you guys that don't know, we just ended a 10-day challenge for our accelerator group, and that was fantastic. That walks people through how to use our semi-new business center, which is where you get to actually create your own offers, your own courses, your own membership sites, and things like that. But what was really cool is with this accelerator, these people actually got 12 done-for-you courses. They didn't actually have to create the content. And now they can either sell these courses or bundle them up, use them as bonuses when they join them for coaching or their opportunity, or if they buy another product or something like that. And Norm, I got to tell you, man, that challenge was fantastic. I love working with people at the accelerator level because those guys are here with us for a year, guaranteed. And that means they're committed. And that means that they're committed and they're getting into using our software, to using all the tools and all the training that we have available to them. So that is one of our favorite things to do. Norb, you got anything to say about that?
I got nothing to add on that one. But it's really exciting to see that business center, really come together and develop. I've actually used it myself recently in the last couple of weeks, and I hadn't touched it in a while, Jim. And it honestly, and I've used some different, platforms and stuff. It honestly is one of the easiest platforms I've ever used to set up an offer and create a course. I love the way that you've designed it with the user interface and stuff. It's really simple. It's a great, powerful platform. And when we add in these benefits of being able to get licensed courses that you don't even have to create, and then being able to add that in for your order bumps and your upsell funnels, it allows a new marketer who's just getting involved in creating their own offers to really skip so many steps and just fast track their success. It's awesome. I mean, I wish we had it when we started out. That's for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, I do remember Norm and I did a little project together. I don't know how many years ago it was now. And God, I don't remember how many pieces we had to duct tape together to do it just right, to do it the way that we wanted to.
That's a really good example. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because it was a summit, that we put together. And oh my God, what a headache, duct tape, because you literally had to use 5 different pieces of software just to get upsell funnels and checkout cards and all this kind of stuff. It was a headache.
Yeah, it was. It was. So it's good to know that it is making it easier, even on us seasoned folk that can start tapping into this. So this is cool. Nora, watch this. Yes, Kim Ward. I am very excited about this new technology, and I'm glad you are LOLing about it. That's awesome. I can bring chats out to the main screen. So be careful what you say.
Jim, you're liking the restream, hey? You're getting into it?
Well, I mean, it's kind of fun because you got like this little like production studio in front of you to be able to kind of do whatever you want. There's a kind of give and take with that, though. That kind of means that you have to have someone that's like the producer in here, right? So I kind of feel like for most of this stuff, we're still going to be using Zoom and then just using this software to kind of push that to different, to different channels and things like that. But it is pretty cool to have, like, if Brian was on here, we'd be able to, I would have complete control and I could like switch between you guys, share screens and check it out. Dare I say, where were they at? Add cool graphics. Makes no sense. But yeah, guys, so I am just going to continue to play with this software if you guys don't have any questions here. So let us know what you got. We do have Norb here for the next, 40 minutes here. So if you have any questions on anything MLSP, marketing, sales, last night we had a great webinar on sales and closing and influence. So let us know what you have, and we can actually see them right in this software, regardless of where you're watching this. Tina, we are testing out Restream right now. It's a tough. There's a couple of ones that we've been looking at. Restream is one of them. StreamYard is one of them that keeps getting recommended to us as well. So we're going to see which one we stick with, but this is the one we're testing right now, and it is fun. It's definitely fun to use. I don't think Norb is 4x4ing. Norb, are you 4x4ing? Norb's frozen right now. Maybe he is 4x4ing. Anna, what are the steps you can take to reignite your fire? Reignite your fire. Norb, you all right, buddy?
I'm looking for better cell reception, and I think I found it.
Are your kids in the car and you're just like driving like random places to look for more bars?
That's what I'm doing right now. Yes, I think I found. Oh no, it dropped to one bar again.
We can hear you right now. Just don't move, even if the light turns green.
I'm not gonna move.
I hope you're not driving because you're looking directly into the camera. Okay. All right. So Norb, if you can answer this, I'd love to hear you. I'll chime in as well. Anna asks, what are your steps that you can take to reignite your fire?
Whoa, you mean like your own personal fire? Like your motivation and
I don't know,
drive?
Anna, do you want to dive in with that a little bit? Do you want to give us a little bit more of a, expanded view on what that question entails?
Yeah, what are we talking about here? Because this, I mean, you kind of need, I'd kind of like to know a little bit more about, your individual situation, which is maybe a little bit too personal for this webinar and this platform. But I think it's different for everybody as far as reigniting your fire. But you've got to reconnect with what's important to you, with what matters for you. Maybe reconnect with your values. What do you stand for? What's important to you? What are the values that you're all about? That's a tough one, but that's what it is for me. Like, reconnect with your values, reconnect what you're passionate for. What are you doing all of this for? What are you doing the work for? Hopefully it has something to do with serving others. I know for a lot of people that can be a big motivation, is to help and serve others, to leave a legacy, to make an impact. Jim, I think about Tony Robbins, the way that he teaches about the 6 human needs.
Yep.
Right? We all have those needs of, what are they? Significance, novelty. Jim, come jump in here, because
Yeah, sure. So it's certainty and uncertainty, significance, love and connection, and then the two biggest drivers are usually are growth and contribution. And knowing you personally, Anna, contribution is a massive, massive part of your identity, and it's caused you to grow. Norm, those are the 6 human needs that you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. So, what is it for you? And that's a bit of a, personal introspection that you've got to take for yourself. The way that Tony teaches it, it's like everything we do in life is to meet those 6 needs, whether it's a negative thing that we're doing or a positive thing that we're doing. And so hopefully we're making positive choices to fulfill one of those 6 needs are most important to us. So I know for me, contribution is definitely a big one. What gets me to continue, like, here we are 13 years later, Jim, still running MLSP. And I'll tell you, I mean, it's a challenge running a business for 13 years. That's bottom line, period. But when we see the lives that we've been able to impact, that's what drives us every single day. The connections, the relationships that we've built, the lives we've been able to impact, the testimonials that we see, the excitement in our members' energy, and as things change and improve in their life, that stuff keeps us going. That's what keeps us driving forward and get us through the difficulties and the challenges, because we're working towards something bigger than ourselves. It's not just myself that I'm responsible for. I feel like I'm responsible for, everybody that works for us, and then also all of our members or all of our affiliates. And some people might crumble under that responsibility, you, Jim, but for me, that definitely strengthens and builds me up, right? That these people are counting on us. We're helping these people's lives with what we're doing. This is important work that we need to continue. So I don't know what it is for you, and discover that for yourself, and keep reminding yourself about the good work that you are doing.
Yeah, I would, Anna, just knowing you personally, I would say that, contribution is definitely one of the biggest drivers for you. The everything that you put out there, the community that you've built, the people that you are out there to help. And in order to kind of reinvite, I mean, I would recommend, I don't know what it's going to be for you that's going to reignite your fire, but what Norb is saying, I actually am staring at, like, I went to an event with Tony, like a Tony Robbins event. It's so funny that Norb brought this up, because I went to an event a year ago, I guess now. No, it would have been 2 years ago now, before everything got shut down. And I'm still staring. I have the poster that we created at that event on my wall, and I look at it every day. And it's got my personal mission statement and the values that I want to live by, and the rules that I assign myself to be able to say, I've achieved that, right? Like, I've achieved this when this happens. And so often, we tell ourselves that, we have to do X in order to claim success or tell ourselves that we're successful. And oftentimes we don't actually look at what those rules are that we have to achieve to get us there to feel successful. And, you know, for a lot of people, I know for me, when we sat down and we actually wrote down some of these things, much of which I was living off of was almost barely unattainable, you know? And when you look at that and you're like, okay, I have to do this in order to be successful, which means if I don't do this, I'm unsuccessful. And then it goes down a rabbit hole. So for you, Anna, I would sit down and I would write what does it look like to feel like that sense of contribution, right? That sense of health that you personally provide. And I would go into your group and pull all the testimonials, and I would keep, man, if you have a printer, I would print them out. If not, I would write them on sticky notes as a constant reminder of how many people you are affecting and how many people's lives you are changing just by being you and just by putting your heart out there. And that to me, like Norbert said, that to me actually is why I keep doing this, is, you know, going into our Facebook group and continuously seeing all of these testimonials for all sorts of different things. Like, you know, I was able to quit my job. I was able to get back to my family. Some of our leaders made this beautiful happy birthday video for Brian and I. And just watching that, it was like 14 minutes long. I watched it a ton of times, and just watching that from you know, the people we work with. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that was amazing to see that. And there were some leaders on there who's just, you know, whose lives have been changed because of what we do here. And being able to have that in our back pocket whenever you're feeling like frustrated or stuck or not, you know, not 100% sure where to go next. I have that, you know, we have the testimonials. I have a swipe file or a folder of all the testimonials of all the people that we've helped, as just a constant reminder, you know, this is why we do what we do. So that was a wildly long-winded answer. And I'm hoping that gave you some ideas. Kim, you were on that video as well. Someone told the people on that video to say something about the Eagles, and I was a little offended by that, but that was like 30 seconds of the 15-minute video. All right, let me roll back up and find some of these questions. I know there are a couple that came in. Let's see. Okay. Diane was teaching on customizing the campaigns, and she was showing that we could embed a video. How do I do that? I can jump into the custom campaigns for sure, Victoria. Let me jump in there in just a minute here. And let me see it. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I think I'm the only one that's looking at these comments right now or can see them. I don't want Norb driving while trying to read these things. Susan, they were making fun of me for my football team of choice.
The Giants had a long spot at the end there.
That's great. Norb was cutting out for like 5 minutes while he was talking, and the only time he came in was to make fun of the Eagles. That was fantastic. All right, let me jump into the business center real quick. Not the business center, the MLSP back office, and we will answer that question about how you can. Let me turn the screen share back on. This is so cool. Okay, so you guys can see this, and yes, DD, I got your question too. We'll take a look at the CRM. DD, is there like a specific question about the CRM that you have regarding, like, you know, some of the functionality or how to connect it to something? Let me know, and I can show you that specifically, but I'm happy to dive into that as well. All right, so inside of MLSP, you guys have access to something called the custom lead gen campaigns now. All right, custom lead gen campaigns are a way for you guys to create a very fast, typically we use them as lead generation campaigns, but you don't even have to use the thank you page. You could use the capture page just as a link to link out to another, like a webinar registration page, or you know, a branded website, a sales page, anything like that. But the question here was, how do I embed a video? Well, you can use a video or a graphic on each of these you know, on each page. So the capture page or the thank you page. And I want to reiterate that these things are built to be as simple as possible. All right. So you don't have a ton of options, which is fine. You don't need a ton of options to get something out there that will work. But inside of each setting, let's take a look. I think I probably have some of these set up so we can take a look at. Yeah. Okay. So this is an example of what was this one called? The event landing page. And all of these campaigns have the same settings, but they're all laid out slightly different based on their use case, right? Based on why we think people might use them. This specific one is typically used for promoting like an event or a webinar, but you can use it for whatever you want because all of this is customizable. But what I was going to say about the video, you have an option on these pages to either use a graphic like this or replace this graphic with a video. And you would do that by going into the settings and coming into the customizations and scrolling all the way down to where you see the option for media. All right. And this is the same for the capture page and the thank you page. You would just shift this to say video. All right. And it looks like I already have a video in there. So I will save the settings and refresh. And this is what the video would look like. All right. So you have an option between either an image or a video, and you have that on both pages. So let me know if that made sense or if there were more questions on that. Guys, if you have questions on how to use these campaigns, because I barely touched the surface right there. We have all the training that you could want. If you go to my website's custom lead gen campaigns, watch this first. I even put watch me first on there. It's 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And then you have access to all of the training, which again, I think totals around 10 minutes. And you guys can have these things up in minutes. It's awesome. All right. So Victoria, can we use our phone or do we have to have a Vimeo account? You need to have the video hosted somewhere. So you can use Vimeo. We love Vimeo. MLSP has its own media host. A lot of people actually don't know that. If you can upload your video to MLSP's hosted media right here under My Content, you would just click on Add New Hosted Media and go through the process of uploading your video. You can use YouTube, which isn't really recommended. We don't recommend embedding YouTube videos on sites because they just like smear their logo feces everywhere and like recommended videos and things like that. And these days, I'm not even sure what's really going on with ads. I don't think you have options to turn them off if you haven't reached like 4,000 hours or something like that. So I would recommend Vimeo, MLSP's custom hosted media, or Wistia is an option as well. But Vimeo is probably your best bet if you don't want to use MLSP. But MLSP is free. It comes with your account. Cool. So let's see. Dee Dee, let me see if you got back to me about anything specific that you wanted to go over in the CRM. Okay. Dee Dee, let me know if you have something specific you want to go over in the CRM. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to let Norb get on his soapbox for a second if he can, because I am going to make sure that when I share my CRM, I'm not giving away any sensitive information. All right. Norb, welcome back to the show.
I found 3 bars.
There it is. I'm telling you, man, Canada, wave of the future.
Hopefully I got a little better connection. I can actually see the comments now in the Restream app here, and I'm doing this on my phone, Jim, so that's good to know as well. The Restream app is working right on my phone. Yeah, in the browser, and I'm seeing the comments, so that's all good to know. But all I can see is a conversation about whether American football is real football.
Yes, they're talking about the important things here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I'm scrolling for a question over here.
Okay, I think I'm actually good. I think all the stuff that would be showing on my screen right now are all fake names and dummy emails and stuff. So we can jump in. But Dee Dee, if there was something specific before I share my screen here, let me know. Norb, your hair is looking great.
Kim noticed my haircut. I just got my haircut. So it's a little short, but it's nice. It's it's good. Thank you for that, Kim. Appreciate it. I am now parked, Ned. I am now parked. Safety first here.
All right, are we good? Thank you guys for Norbert's
yeah.
concern. We definitely want to make sure we keep the Canadian safe up there. We're good for a little bit. Probably got him for like 15 more minutes. All right, let me go ahead and share this. You know, not 100% sure what I'm going to show you in here, Dee, if you want to give me something specific, but I'll show you something that, you know, Todd is our lead developer, and he makes improvements all the time on our stuff. And I actually just realized a new improvement that he put up that I wasn't even 100% sure on until the other day. So, one of the really nice things about the CRM is its label functionality, where you can actually bring people into the CRM while attaching labels. And you can do that with any of the MLSP campaigns, any of the lead gen campaigns, any of the custom lead gen campaigns, anything in Funnelizer, anything in the business center. So there are, and if you guys are savvy enough, I know we do have a lot of technical people on here. If you want to use Zapier, basically you can send anyone into the MLSP CRM. And what's really cool is for those of you guys that have used our integrations before, see, I just turned this off. For those of you guys that have used our integrations before, this might look familiar. Come on, screen share. Uh-oh. Norbert's not sharing the screen. Wait, you guys can see the screen share, I think. That's so weird. You guys can see it, but I can't see that it's actually sharing. All right. Okay. So I do want to show you guys that, you know, one of the really cool things about the CRM is our label functionality. So if I come into the labels here and you know, let's say I want to create a new label. Let's say that I created a new custom lead gen campaign that is going to point them to a webinar registration page, right? So the page, as a matter of fact, I could register for them directly into a Zoom webinar if I wanted to, if they registered. So let's use a different example. Once they register, I'm going to send them to an MLSP thank you page that provides some kind of value that they wanted. All right. Let's say that it was the profile profits cheat sheet, one of our favorites, lead gen campaigns. It's a wonderful PDF that teaches people how to basically give a makeover on their Facebook profile. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new label by clicking on add label. I will say lead, and then I will do, and you don't have, you can write these however you want. Lead profile profits cheat sheet. All right, cheat sheet. You're limited to how many characters, which is probably good. You don't want to write a book on here. So I will choose blue, and then I will add the label. And then what's really cool here is when I click on the edit button, I can actually create rules for each individual label so that when I put someone into the CRM, I can fire off a rule that sends them over to MLS or to Aweber, right? Or to my integration or autoresponder, or register them for a webinar in Zoom. So there's a ton of options here as well, which is really nice. So I could say, hey, when this label is added, send them over to Aweber, add them to a list, right? And then maybe I put them on my main list, and then I can add a tag that they profile profits cheat sheet. Then I'll add that rule. So all of the integration features that you guys have inside of MLSP directly, you can use inside of the CRM as well, which is really powerful, especially if you guys use outside sources to bring people into your MLSP CRM. All right, so it's pretty sweet options there. Let me turn this off, and let's take a look here. It looks like we have Shireen is sharing a page. Okay. All right. So, Shireen, here is my recommendation. My understanding here, I'll share the screen again, see if it actually works this time the way it's supposed to. So remove source there. Let's share this screen. That's so weird. For some reason, you guys can see the share, but in my little software piece, all I can see is a black screen. Want to make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Okay, cool. So Shireen, last time we chatted, the conversation was that you were going to use a funnelizer template, right? So inside of funnelizer, you were going to use a sales page template to create a sales page for a course that you were selling inside of Thinkific, right? And that button on that sales page would send them directly to the checkout page, because the sales portion, right, selling the person on actually wanting to buy this course, would occur on the sales page in Funnelizer. So what I would do, and this is very simple, if you're creating that sales page inside of Funnelizer, instead of sending them here, because this is like a secondary sales page almost, right? Like you should have already done the work in selling them on this. So everything on this page should be on the actual sales page you're putting inside of Funnelizer. There's no reason to resell them and show them a second sales page. When they click buy now on that sales page inside of Funnelizer, it should go right here. No more wasting time on a different sales page or anything like that. Send them directly to the checkout page. And it doesn't matter if you didn't have time to do anything else on that page. From our last conversation, that's not the sales page you're going to be using this. Why not only use this? You certainly could. I thought you wanted to use Funnelizer so you had a little bit more control over what would be said on the sales page, a little bit more design friendly and things like that. But yeah, you could certainly use this. Why use Funnelizer if you can use this? Mainly for me, it's just the way that this is laid out. But that's not to say you can't use this. First of all, well, I mean, if you're going to use this, then we can critique this as a sales page. Okay, Nor, were you able to see this? I can't hear you. I think you're muted. All right, so it's a little classic, yes. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it being classic. That's fine. But in terms of like this being a sales page, there's definitely some work that we can do. Color your journey to happiness should not be the biggest thing on here, because I don't know what that means and I don't really care what that means. What I care about is this: transform your life by expressing the 6 human needs through art, 6-week online course. Again, though, if I'm not in the know, I understand what you're saying here. I don't know what 6 human needs are. If I don't know what the 6 human needs are, and I don't know what color your journey to happiness means, then there's way too much confusion going on just in the header. Okay. So unless you want to take time to explain what the 6 human needs are, which you can't do in a header, there's way too much information that's needed there, then we need to come up with a good headline that's going to instantly connect with the user that lands on this page. Does that make sense? We need to get to the benefits right away. I'm fine with it saying 6-week online course. That's fine, because you want to tell them what they're getting. And if there's a timer on here, which it looks like there is, and it's 2 days, like 2 days left, no reason this should be down at the bottom. This is what creates scarcity. This needs to be all the way at the top, as high as possible. Okay, as high as possible. So my recommendation is better headline up top, make it big. I'm not sure what all you can do here, because I know Thinkific is pretty limited in like laying this out. But color your journey for happiness, figure out a better headline, and make it bigger. It's got to pop. People have to relate to it right away. Okay. Enroll now starting at the 8th of November. That's fine. The button's got to change. This is, or the background has to change. It's too close in color. It doesn't pop enough. It doesn't stand out enough. So I actually missed it the first time I landed on this page. I just started scrolling it down. All right. So headline, fix the button. And then now we kind of get into, the what and the copy of here. Unleash your happiness with art and the 6 human needs. Again, just a little unclear. Like if I don't know what the 6 human needs are, I'm just not sure what this means or what this is going to get me. Color Your Journey to Happiness, a pioneer online course created by artists aiming to help you find inner happiness, harmony, and peace. That is what you provide. By exploring the psychology through creativity, you will create art inspired to your own 6 human needs, according to Tony Robbins. Okay, so here's the question. Is the audience you are targeting 100% like the Tony Robbins audience? Would they instantly understand what you're trying to say here? Or are you going to people that are outside of that niche? That would be my number one question here would be who is your audience? And we should have started with that question because I'd be critiquing this without actually knowing where you're trying to go with this. Both. Okay, cool. So if it's both, then you're potentially targeting a lot of people that aren't going to know what the 6 human needs are. So those who don't know are interested. Sure. Of course they are. They just don't know what that means. Right? So you're selling me a benefit that I don't understand. Right? Inspired by your own 6 human needs. And Shireen, I don't know if you've been to one of our level 1 workshops, but we spend a lot of time talking about clarity in your marketing, clarity in your offer, like specifically, what is the problem that you solve? What is the solution that you have to that problem? And what does life look like for someone that takes your solution? Okay. People get curious when they don't know. People get curious. You said people get curious when they don't know. I would push back on that 100%. You don't want people to be curious about what's going to be on, like what they're paying for. They want to be 100% in the know. They want to know what they're buying. They want to know what the benefit is, and they want to know in like 6 seconds, right? If you want to get in to the 6 human needs, and I would recommend you do if that's going to be a major part of your sales thing, then it's going to be farther down the page because I want to know instantly if this is a sales page, what am I getting out of this? That was their feedback. Cool. I know that for us, for marketing, we are very, very careful about our language. And if you can split test, maybe this is something you want to test. You can 100% go with the 6 human needs and hope that the person that lands on here, you pique their curiosity. I would say that there is a certain personality that would have their interest piqued. It's certainly not going to be everyone. However, you could potentially get everyone if you lead with the benefit and what they're going to get out of the course. Again, take what you like, leave the rest. That would be my recommendation. Norb tried to come back on, but it looks like he's out again. But that would be my recommendation. If you want to lead with the 6 human needs, just understand that there's going to be a certain set of people that don't know what you're talking about, and they're probably not going to, donate the mental calories to figure it out. Norb, what's up, man? Are you back?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, awesome. Good job. I'm back.
Welcome back. I would actually, this is great. I would love to get your opinion on this. She said that people were piquing their life. So this is interesting because I'm having a conversation with you, and she's writing comments on here. How do you feel about her leading with something that's called the 6 human needs, like transform your life by expressing the 6 human needs through art, when her audience is not necessarily Tony Robbins fans, like Tony Robbins people? They've never heard of 6 human needs. They don't know what that means. She's saying that she has gotten some feedback that has piqued their interest. So they scroll down and read some more. I'm I am of the idea that, you know me, man. I mean, clarity beats creativity every day in my world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I would say that that has a chance of piquing curiosity, right? So it's one thing to be creative, like for instance, color your journey to happiness is more on that creative side rather than piquing curiosity. The six human needs piques curiosity because it's speaking about a specific thing. Six human needs. And most people who haven't heard of that, I think, would be like, "Oh, well, what are those six human needs? I've never heard of this. What are they?" It piques that curiosity. Oh, there's only six? Oh, there's six? Which need do I have? So it creates that loop inside the brain where all of a sudden you're curious and you need to know more. The color your journey to happiness, I think, is a better example of that creativity over clarity, where the creativity, it's not really eliciting any type of curiosity in me because it's not talking about anything specific. It's kind of being more creative, right? More cute. And so it's not really saying anything. That's where we get into these ambiguous statements that nobody really knows what it means and it doesn't really speak to a person. Whereas I think the six human needs, I can see how that would create curiosity.
that's
So
interesting. I
I
mean,
can
I
see that.
like, and this is where you're going to get, two very differing opinions. Personally, I
Yeah.
would leave the six human needs out of the headline because that to me wouldn't pique my interest. I'd be like, I don't know what that means, man. I'll go find something else. What would pique my interest is the copy that you use in the paragraph right below, where you talk about, aiming to help you find your inner happiness, harmony, and peace by expressing yourself through art that is like, specifically tailored to your personality or something like that, right? But the benefit of what you're selling to me, just by reading this one paragraph, is to help you find inner happiness, harmony, and peace. That to me, like, is more meaningful to me than talking about the six human needs in the headline. I'm not saying you don't have to, like, you can't talk about the six human needs, but I need to know what the benefit is personally. Norbert, if his interest got piqued, if you can pique people's interest in that, that's great. I'm not one of those people. And that's fine. It's not going to, not every sales page um, is going to align with every person that hits it. You're always going to have people that this just isn't a good fit, which is fine. So just two differing opinions on this. I'm not by any means saying you shouldn't dive into the six human needs. I'm just saying that to me, the benefit is what you need to lead with up top.
Mm-hmm.
After discussing with a
Yeah.
friend, he said it's too general and you don't know how. Then tell him how. So if someone hits your site and reads a headline and it's unclear and someone's literally telling you it's unclear, personally, I would not go the other direction by now. Just, okay, if that's not clear enough, let's just pique curiosity and hope for the best. I would rework that headline until the person that was confused is now completely clear on what they're getting. And remember what you're doing here, like you're squeezing very little copy up here. You have plenty of space to add a headline and a subheadline and a button, a call to action button. So you have more copy to be able to use here if you wanted to. I would just be careful of, like, like I said, this is my opinion. Norbert had his own about piquing curiosity with the six human needs. My initial goal with a headline would not be to pique curiosity necessarily. It would be to slam them in the head with the benefit that they're going to get and how they're going to get it. Norb, you got anything else on that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to work those benefits in there, and then going back to your ideal client, right? Who are you speaking to? Did we speak? I missed some of the conversation initially. Did we speak about who the ideal client is here?
Uh, no, all I really got was like it's some people that are in, Tony Robbins, but also people that wouldn't necessarily know what that means.
Okay. Yeah, because my question would be, with the ideal client, is it happiness that they're looking for the most? Is that the key to what they're looking for? Is that their goal? Is just happiness? And then with art, is that for artists that are already artists, aspiring artists or people who have never considered art as being a method for therapy, as in being method for achieving happiness, right? Because each one of those three different categories of clients would, it would change the way that I would approach the headline.
I love that, and it seems like what you just asked, Shireen, you're starting to actually think about this now. Like all these questions that Norbert's asking, these are the things that we need to take into account when we're getting together to write a sales page, because your language that you're going to use is going to be wildly different if you're targeting people that are not necessarily artists rather than people that already know the language, like know all the artist language that you would be talking about. So the language you use on the site is going to be wildly different. If the goal is to really have fun in a creative way and enjoy learning, then the language that you use in the headline is going to be wildly different than what you have right now. So my I would sit down and really kind of think this through and go through the process of creating that customer avatar. Who is your ideal customer for this offer, for this product? What are the problems that they have? What is their ultimate goal? What is the solution that they're looking for, and to what problem? They might not even know what the solution is. You have something. They might even not consider art as being like a way to solve said problem. That's where your solution comes in. But what are the actual problems that your audience is experiencing, and how can your solution help them? If it's not just simply a journey to happiness, and transform for me is really vague. People use it all the time, and it's fine. I'm not saying don't use that, but it's really vague when it's used in like transform your life. I'm not really sure what that would mean to me if I read that. So I would just be asking questions. But Shireen, give us how are you feeling about this conversation now? Like, are you starting to understand how we kind of look more for clarity on these pages? Stress, boredom, no joy, improve their sense of happiness. All of these things. I mean, if these are the problems that you solve, then all of this has to play into your headline, right? All of this has to play into your call to action. Why? I mean, piquing curiosity is great, but in my mind, if you can really agitate the problem that your audience is dealing with and show them a solution, maybe something they never even thought about, and give them a reason why this would work, give them a reason why this would be so amazing, and then paint them a picture of what this would look like afterwards. That is that's my ideal sales page. Norm, I'm not saying, by no means am I saying you have to put negatives in the headline. You could transform all of those things that you just said into a positive. Norm, do you want to add anything before we hop off of this one? Because I want to make sure we get to a couple of other questions that we have. And Shireen, I know, does this actually start on the 8th, or is that just kind of like a timer that you put on there as you're preparing to actually launch this course? It does actually launch on the 8th. Okay, cool. All right. I mean, then this is a great time to test it. Then, if you've already been getting people into it, and you want to shift it around a little bit, change the headline, change some of the copy. Um, the button up here is great, and I would move the timer. Like I said, I would move the timer up there to make sure that there's a sense of urgency for people. Awesome. Norb, do you want to close with anything on Shireen's site? You muted, or can you not hear me? I'm not sure Norb can hear me. Oh, okay. So, Shireen, before we just congratulations on getting this up. That's amazing. You have your own thing that you're putting out there. Everything we're doing right now is just tweaking, right? We're getting more clarity on our audience. We're getting more clarity on the problem that you actually solve with your offer and things like that. So, but hats off to you guys. Give me an X in the chat for Shireen for putting this together. This is fantastic. She's got her own offers. That is awesome. And Shireen, my recommendation to you is come hang out with us on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday we do the funnel marketing mastery with Brian and I. We would love to take a look at this and probably take a deeper dive into our recommendations on this. All right, awesome. So let me. All right. Yes. Here, let me stop the screen share. Norb, I can't tell if you're frozen or if you're just staring at me like that. Let me go back to MLSP. If you go to Victoria, if you go to my content, MLSP hosted media, so my content, MLSP hosted media, I will find where these videos are. But there's really not much to it. So let's say that you took a video on your phone or something like that, and you're able to get it onto your laptop or your desktop or your computer, something, right? All you need to do is click add new hosted media. You don't even have to worry about categories if you don't want to. If you only have 1 or 2 videos, you don't really need to categorize them, right? But it's a video file. You name it, Victoria's page, video, or whatever. Click select a video and just choose the video from your computer and it'll upload. All right. If you have problems, please tag us in the group. We definitely don't want anyone to get stuck on the tech side of things. All right. He's back. All right. Okay. Hi, Nord.
Technology. Oh my God.
All right. I'm scrolling through the comments to make sure we didn't miss anything. Did you want to close anything with Shireen? Because I know that you were saying a couple things before you froze into this deep state. I wish you could have seen how you froze. It's like you were staring into my soul, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, the only thing I wanted to say was I saw the comments that Shireen was saying about the fact that it was for non-artists using art to reach their creativity and stuff. And so that's where, like, for me, that headline completely cut me off right at the beginning. As soon as I read the headline, in my mind, it's not for me because I'm not an artist, right? And the way you said it, I thought it was for sure for artists, right? So if you're trying to attract non-artists, be careful by throwing the word art out there too soon, too quickly. I can't remember exactly what the headline said, but it was, achieve happiness through art. And I was immediately like, oh, well, that's not for me, because I'm not thinking about art as a way to achieve happiness. Even though I am a creative person, I don't do any type of like artistic endeavors at all, right? But then again, it might not be for me.
I mean, there's always so many ways to explain what it is, right? So like, how could you make art seem simple to the layperson, right?
More accessible, yeah.
Yeah, like more accessible without just saying art. Maybe there's a way, just a phrase, like just a few different words that you could use instead of the term art. Through creativity, through the creative process of X. Even if you're a beginner, like even if you've never painted before, I don't know what the offer is, but even if is probably going to be a good phrase for you to make sure that you don't dissuade a Norbert from taking action.
But then, you know what? Just as I say that, and I'm listening to you speak, I'm thinking. But then again, you know what? Maybe I'm just not the ideal client, because if you need to now educate me on why I should consider art as a solution, I'm probably not your ideal client, right? And you probably want to look for people who have already considered art or thought of art or would like to be better artists. They have some kind of interest in it already. I would think that's an easier client, and you're always looking for the easiest clients. Like, you don't want to find the hardest clients that you need to educate and drag into your program. You want the clients that are the best fit. So maybe clients like me who don't have time for art or would never consider art, really investing time and energy and money into art right at this point in my life, I just wouldn't be your ideal client. And that's fine too, right? So maybe that's good to actually say art in the beginning, because then you're getting rid of people like me who are not your ideal client.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where this whole thing comes down to, really, really getting clear on your ideal client, on your ideal audience.
Yeah.
And you write for that person. You know, you're not, like Norbert said, you're not going to be trying to fit everyone into this, because what happens is you muddy your message, right? And then you try to appeal to everyone, and then everyone's lost because you're not speaking anyone's language too clear. So, you know, our recommendation, at least right now, and for everyone that's got something to sell, that might be putting something like this together. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you're selling someone else's stuff. Maybe you're selling a product or an opportunity or something like that. Sit down with a sheet of paper and figure out who the audience is that's going to benefit most from what you have to offer. What is the problem that it solves? Figure out an audience. We always use weight loss supplements as kind of like an example here, because I think it's just the most clear example. Like, a weight loss product can help a million people in a million different ways, like solve a million different problems. And the audience is going to determine what that problem is that it solves. For example, like a weightlifter or a bodybuilder would use a weight loss supplement probably to get shredded for the next competition, while a 75-year-old grandmother probably wants to lose weight to be able to run around with their grandkids. You know, same supplement, but the framing is wildly different because it solves a different problem for each person. Now, imagine trying to put all of that on one sales page. You would not be able to do it, and you wouldn't be able to do it well, for sure. You could try, but neither one of those audiences, for example, is going to connect, because you have to speak everyone's language, and now you have this muddy message and no one feels compelled to buy. So maybe it's people that are interested in personal development. I wouldn't necessarily say it has to be coaches. There are a lot of people that are interested in personal development, personal development that aren't coaches, for sure. Awesome. Cool. Let's see here. Just two more things real quick. We're coming to the top of the hour. I'm trying to work on my first campaign. How do I decide which campaign? Are you, Jennifer, that's a tough question. Are you building something yourself, or are you promoting one of MLSP's lead gen campaigns and you're trying to figure out which campaign to use? Because the answer really is going to be the same for each. Who's the audience you're going after, right? Who is the audience you're going after, and what kind of problems can you solve with what you have to offer? So it's really the same answer for everyone. Monique, we don't have time to show your page, but I just opened it. It looks a lot better. I didn't get a chance to go into the actual copy, but it looks a lot cleaner. I like I love the plan. Create your account or log in if you're already a member, enter your card info, and enjoy a 7-day free trial. When your trial ends, you'll be charged $77 a month. You'll only be charged $77 a month. Make it seem like a steal, because it is. All right, and then there was one more about setting up a Stripe. I really wish I knew what the problem was. I'm trying to. Melissa, you've reached out to Stripe, and they are telling you, are they helping you at all? Or are they just like flat out saying you don't meet the requirements? Because we've never had anyone get turned down by Stripe. So my guess is that it's got something to do with the link that you're putting in. And I can show you real quick. It is very, very easy to get together a page in Funnelizer. And I'll just show you where the training is, because what I would recommend for you is just use a hub page template with the most minimal amount of stuff on there. I think all they need is, Melissa, I can't show you how to create a page in like 30 seconds here, but I can show you where the training is. All right. So let me share my screen. There is plans to add more than Stripe, and Stripe is like by far the best. So we might add like PayPal or something, but we would still always recommend Stripe as being the one to use. So under my websites, you can go to MLSP Funnelizer, and right here, click to access your Funnelizer training. Again, you shouldn't have to go through this. I'm not sure why they're being sticklers on this particular one. I'm not sure what links you've used already, but I would recommend you taking a look at these videos right here, right? So settings and house cleaning. But since you're only using it as a placeholder, you don't really have to worry about creating a capture page or setting up your integrations or anything like that. What you can click on is homepage hubs and watch these videos. Wait a minute. I would start with customizing every part of the templates. Okay. So again, Funnelizer training, click on homepage hubs, customizing every part of your templates. And then don't worry about going too far out. You literally just need to be able to put a picture of you up there and a little information about yourself, and you can probably call it a day. And then I would choose one of these templates to use. Let's see. I think Marketer Hub would probably be the best for you. It's literally a template inside of Funnelizer. It shows up like this. So use your image. Like you can replace this with your image. Use your name or a very quick logo you can create in Canva. There's a video back there that shows you how to do that. You can hide anything you don't want, but you just need something there to be able to share as the link. And again, I'm not sure why they're turning you down or what links you've used so far, but that is where I would point you. And if you get stuck during the process of creating one of these, just let us know. All right, tag us. We'll be able to point you in the right direction. We'll be able to help you out. All right. Awesome. Guys, it is the top of the hour. One sec. Yeah, there you go. Here. As an example, Melissa, this is let's see if it shares. Anne has been on this call with us. This is her hub page that she put together. And I'm sure it didn't take too long. There's not much to it, right? There's not too much that you can customize here. You can't add stuff. You can only remove stuff. And then it's point and click. All right. You can choose to have all this stuff on here. You could hide anything. But this looks great. And obviously we don't have time to get into the copy or anything like that. But great work on that. That's fantastic. And I'll bring Norbert on for one more time. He just keeps getting kicked off. But we're going to say bye now, Norb. I appreciate all the trouble you went through to get on here and to stay on here.
I'm glad I could join in a little bit. I'm glad I could help maybe just a little bit, Jim. You held down the fort really well, so you did a great job.
No, you know what, guys, you were awesome today. Shireen, thank you so much for bringing that. It was a really good conversation about different marketing strategies and really how important it is to really know your audience and know the problem that your product or your offer, whatever it is you're selling, what it solves, right? And then now we can start using the language that audience uses. So I would love to see what you do. I know your sessions start in the next couple of days. On Tuesday, Brian and I have the Tuesday funnel marketing mastery. So Shireen and Monique, please bring your sites back so we can do a deep dive and take a closer look at what you got going on. All right. The rest of you, thanks for joining. awesome always to have you guys on. Let me know what you guys thought of this new software. I don't know. I'm going back and forth.
Hey, we got a lot of. I think we got more viewers.
You think so?
We'll see. We'll have to look at the stats.
We'll see. I don't know. I almost felt like I liked Zoom better. Like, unless there was someone else on and I could just play with all the bells and whistles, because that's kind of fun. Like that. Like, that's cute. Can't do that in a Zoom. You know? maybe put a little, for Halloween. That's fun.
Yeah. And you can add custom graphics too, Jim.
Custom graphics as well. And then I feel like I would go down a rabbit hole and you like show up like 7 years later with like 100 graphics and no idea what to do next. All right. We're going to hop off. Norb, thank you again for joining. All you guys, thanks for hanging out. We will see you on Monday. We have a great webinar coming up on Wednesday. We'll probably get that up this weekend so you guys can start promoting it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We will see you on all of the lives. If you're brand new, Monday night, new member orientation. All right? New member orientation. It's going to be killer. All right. I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it like Brian, though, Norb. You ready? You ready?
Yep.
This webinar is a wrap. How'd I do? That's pretty good.
It's done.
It felt good. It felt strong. All right. I'm going to end the stream.